we got somebody that requested a trade, man. He trying to ready to get out of there, man. And of course, you knew the number one headline for once. It wasn't just Dallas this time as the number one headline for where he should go, but um, Davante Adams has requested a trade, and let's just discuss this, man. Before we get to the destinations, like, are you kind of shocked that we finally got to this point?
I'm not shocked that we got to this point. I kind of foresaw it because, again, once they traded Derek Carr when he got there, it's like, hey, that's why he wanted, like, that's the reason he wanted to go there, because
Mhm.
because of the uncertainty with Aaron Rodgers, it was like, hey, I'm trying to go ball with my college partner.
Yeah,
And then y'all trade him. Not only do y'all trade him, y'all give me Jimmy Garoppolo.
yeah, like
Like, nah, this ain't what I asked for. And so that's more so like not the writing was on the wall, but I knew that it would get to a point where it would just get real nasty, and eventually it was gonna come to a head eventually.
if they would have drafted Michael Penix, this was salvageable. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And the fact that they didn't, they couldn't. You know what I'm saying? It was just it was inevitable at that point. You know what I'm saying? Even though Gardner Minshew hasn't looked trash,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? He's been serviceable. Even Devontae had a amazing game against the Ravens. So it's not
And that
like,
team is actually better than we expected.
yeah. So it's not like it's just god awful out there. You know what I'm saying? Now some things might have just happened, and he was like, you know what? I see it, but get me up out of here before it gets worse. So I get it. Um, yeah, I mean, like I said, I just explained how it was inevitable, but let's get to some of these destinations, man. Of course, with his age, he's going to want to go to a contending team.
Is he?
Um, yeah, he got his money. You know what I'm saying? He got his money. Of course, he probably want to go to a team to secure some more funding. Of course, you know what I'm saying that. But um, with his age, yeah, I will repeat, he wants to go to a contending team. There's no way in where, for example, he's not going to be like, "Hey, send me to Arizona. I'm cool." You know what I'm saying? Send me to New York. I'm cool. I mean, the Giants. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I was about to say.
Send me to the Patriots. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying?
So, pretty much, it's like for me personally, it's like I'm not necessarily certain. Is it about winning or is it about just not going to a terrible team where he has the opportunity to at least be in the conversation?
What
Because
conversation?
like to compete for, like just not like a trash team, if you get what I'm saying. So like if he wants to play, like, because he wanted to play with Derek Carr in Oakland. So if he want, because to me, if he wants to play with Derek Carr again, I'm not sure if that's basically, oh, I want to necessarily, like, I want to win, I want to go for a championship type move. You get what I'm saying? If he goes to Buffalo, then maybe that's more so of a I want to go for it type move. Maybe the Jets could still be considered a go for it type move just off of basically the narrative and the hype. You get what I'm saying? And then now you have, because it's as like when we seen with the Jets when they played the Broncos, you shut down Garrett Wilson, you shut down everything.
But that was his gripe. His gripe was more so about the offense that Aaron wants to run. And you know what I'm saying? And that's and
No,
that's
yeah.
that that's the problem. I mean, they have other, like you say, Mike Williams has looked serviceable. Like you said, everybody was loving him when they beat the brakes off the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? They was loving Mike Williams then. They was loving Alan Lazard then. They was loving Tyler Conklin then. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When he was utilizing other weapons, then when the offense looked good. But we know what this offense is. The offense is going to be stagnant. I mean, we knew that's not sustainable. But we don't even know if his play is sustainable. To be quite honest, and
Of course.
that offense is archaic, and that's the offense that he wants to run. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
But another reason why I think that, to me, the at the top of the list is the Saints and the Jets is because of that familiarity, and we know who's the GM with the Jets. So basically,
him, him going to the I'm sorry, him going to the Saints and the Jets, of course that's going to be I'm going to play with my homeboys. But at the end of the day, we was people was just raving about the Saints the first 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Now they lost a tough game to the Eagles, and then they lost another tough game to the Falcons. But those men seem like they just look like fool's gold. You know what I'm saying? They look like they could still be a contending team if they had him. You know what I'm
But
saying?
right, but to me, when we talking about contending, if they have Devontae, I don't know if that makes them a Super Bowl contender.
You can say that for damn near every team that he goes to. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I'm not trying to minimize that point at all. You
So
know, so
I think that's what I mean when I say him trying to go to a contender. I don't think it's a
I
Super
know
Bowl. I don't think he would be going to a Super Bowl contender because we can go ahead and take the Chiefs off this list. If they trade Davante Adams to the Chiefs within their division, I'm writing a letter to the NFL calling for collusion.
everybody in the NFL is going to do the same thing. Like at that point, like you said, that's just not fair. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not that's just not fair. That's not even a competitive edge or anything. Like that's that's just wrong. Like you said, who put it in the group? I think I got Sean. He did post the Edgar Allan Poe joint that was cryptic. And if you don't not familiar with him, Fear the Raven, Nevermore. So
But
if
he
he don't make
also
them a contender.
so I do want to say I think with that cryptic post, a lot of people were just saying, "Oh, he posted Edgar Allan Poe," but he did post another he did post Edgar Allan Poe again after that, and it was basically believe nothing you hear and half of what you see. So I don't know if that's basically him saying like, "Hey, I didn't request a trade." Antonio Pierce out there saying I played my last game. This ain't got nothing to do with me. Or, maybe he's saying I want to be a Raven. Who knows? But will that make them a contender? I don't know if that's to me, I think the Ravens got what they need
No,
because
no, hell no.
let's hold on, no, hear me out. Because we saw in Kansas City, once they got pass happy, it went downhill from there. To me, like, yo, if you just like, y'all need to run the ball. Y'all need to be that old school wear people out type thing. I don't want you to fall in love with your new toy. Don't get Davante Adams and then it looked like at the beginning of the season where Derrick Henry get 8 touches. No, that's not what y'all need. Run the ball. And to me, doing the things that they have right now, I think makes them continue to be like, run the ball, pound the rock, pound the rock, pound the rock, and then throw the ball to keep people honest. That's all I'm saying.
Right now, currently constructed, they're regular season real. They're the regular season real ass Ravens. You know what I'm saying? The team that can look like they can just be the number one seed, right? But in the playoffs, they'll be easier to defend because all you would have to literally do is just stop the run. Because I
But
mean,
but
they're not
say,
passing, bro.
say
they're not even getting they flowers in real routes, bro.
but
They're
here's
giving him smoke screens and just giving him the ball in his
that's
hand.
all they
Do you
really. But
he can run the more of a route tree. You
the
know
one
what
thing
Bateman's
the
not
one
gonna
thing that
do, bro.
I will push back on you is saying all you got to do is stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
You been knew that. And you still like it's still hard to stop. So it's not just, oh, all you got to do is stop the run. No, you got to stop Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. That's a lot different than just saying, oh, all you got to do is stop the run.
It's
To me, that's a big difference.
What do you mean? Because like in critical game, people have stopped the run and made and forced him to pass. Even if whatever, however you want to frame it, of stopping the run or forcing Lamar to pass, that's the formula, and
But
they have
but
done
but
that.
it's not. But there it has not been with Derrick Henry. That's all I'm saying. It looks a lot different. It looks a lot different.
It only has looked a lot different in a few games.
But as we see them getting more comfortable, and again, they have these like as Roger Rosengarten gets more comfortable,
Yes.
it's starting to look a little bit different. So all I'm saying is it's a little bit different. And again, you start doing that, they still have the ability to throw the ball. Yes, they're not getting Zay Jones out and a whole bunch of routes, but if again you just put the ball, like he didn't run a whole bunch of real routes in college. Just get him the ball. He was one of those guys. Get him the ball type people
Yeah, but once again, they are actually using like Isaiah likely hasn't had a game like he had in week 1 since.
for sure.
Mark Andrews ain't caught a pass since last year. You know what I'm saying? Because they using him to block. And they playing way more 12 personnel, way more 13 personnel. Like they're not even really trying to pass, not trying to pass. They can't because his offensive line can't pass protect. So
Yeah,
they are running to protect themselves because that's the really only thing they can do as of now, as this offensive line continues to gel and all. I'm not saying it's only week 5. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Things can change, but currently constructed, if it becomes a passing game, if the team forced them to pass and all they have is Zay Flowers and the inconsistent Rashad Bateman, bro, you tell me all the time. Ain't nowhere in the world has the stance that you've been having and the conversation that we've been having about wide receivers, about how you always been fighting for Green Bay to go get another wide receiver when
Oh,
he was in his prime. So don't
I
sit
haven't.
here. Don't
I've been no. I've been
because you
fighting for them to.
can't.
No, I've been fighting for them to get wide receivers. Let's
Yes.
not
So you
like
can't
let's
go to the Ravens and say they got everything they
no.
need when they only
No,
got one wide receiver.
I never said
You
it.
just said that.
No, I did not. What I'm saying is, will it get them away from what they are supposed to do? Because in those critical moments, we've seen them getting pass happy. I'm not saying don't go get a wide receiver, but I'm saying if you get Davante, it's like, oh, now I got a Ferrari. I'm gonna drive that every day. But it's like you don't like you forget, like, hey man, that Ford truck is like you bought a Ferrari, but you live in North Dakota. You probably want to drive that Ford truck more often and then just bring out that Ferrari when you need it. That's what I'm saying. So to me, it's not necessarily saying, oh, go get Davante, but maybe get someone that can elevate your wide receiver room, but you won't fall in love with. So it's like you don't lose your identity. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that's I'm just it's a contrarian point of view of saying do they really need Devontae, because will it sidetrack them from what they need to do, because what is their bread and butter? That's all I'm saying.
I get you with the
It's a
clarification.
question. I'm not even saying I believe it. I'm just posing like a hypothetical question.
No, I say I'm good with the clarification. You know what I'm saying? We good now. We on the same page. I think I got a 2-part. Which team? Yeah, I do have a 2-part. But which team do you think he's going to? You can list all the teams on here that you think he would go to. You don't have that. Have a concrete. He's going to the Jets. That's it. Like we don't have to do that. But that's all I'm asking. Sorry.
So to me, like I said, like I've said it already. I believe.
Y'all
Hey,
about the Ravens over
I ain't talking too much trash because we do play them this week.
just as long as you know.
We do play them this week. But to me, again, like I said, at the top of the list is the Jets and the Saints in my eyes, because it's that familiarity, and with it being mid-season, that is, what I think could be a possibility. My sneaky one is one of the ones that a lot of people have already kind of said earlier. I've heard it thrown around, but the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was. I'll give credit where credit is due. I think it was Bill Barnwell who said, you kind of want to do it very similar to what you kind of saw the Texans do with CJ Stroud. Yeah, you had you had Nico Collins, you had Tank Dell, you had some pieces in place, and then he actually ended up being better than what you thought. So it's like, okay, while we got him on this rookie deal, let's go get Stephon Diggs and just see if we can add some in. So right now, you only really like your only true weapon right now is Terry McLaurin and Brian Robinson running the ball.
Yeah,
So if you can add in a Davante Adams and with uh Jaden Daniels on that rookie contract, you may be able to get this deal done with actually giving up less, because the Raiders won't have to necessarily eat a ton of money. So that can kind of be that trade-off, there. And it's like, with that new ownership, who knows how aggressive that they might be in
mm-hmm.
this. So that could be a thing. And then I actually agree here with Sean. Another sneaky one for me is Atlanta, because who knows what Kyle Pitts is? Well, we kind of know, but it's like,
We know.
yeah, we know. So now it's like, you pair Drake London up with Devontae, and then you got Bijan and Tyler Algier. That could be a pretty dangerous offense, and you keep them away from the Saints.
I think for them in particular, Atlanta, they just need to just get more continuity with Zach Robinson.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because
I
like
think
you have,
I think he's getting more comfortable in his play
yeah,
calling.
because if he's comfortable, then once again, like this offense has what they need. They got Darnell Mooney that's still looking like,
He
you know,
always he like, even in Chicago, he just be randomly just popping out with these crazy one hand catches.
yeah,
He reminded me of like Brandon Lloyd. Remember Brandon Lloyd, who just used to always end up on the Sports Center top 10 because he had like the
yeah,
craziest catches in the world. But then you look, he got 400 yards on the season.
yeah.
Like, dog, what is going on?
Yeah, that's that. But like I say, if they could just get it, like not get it together, but they could just continue to build off what they got. They got enough offensively. You know what I'm saying? Um, the Saints, they could use them, and another team that don't care about the cap. So
Yeah.
that don't, say they could use another wide receiver. Like I get it, Shaheed has definitely took strides, and once again, Chris Olave has definitely continued to progress. You know what I'm saying? But after that,
And to
who,
me, him going to the Saints to me, it kind of does almost like the hill level roster building. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, now you got Davante Adams, Chris Olave, and then Rashid Shaheed.
mhm,
It's like, that's that becomes really, really dangerous, because you got the do it all in Davante Adams. You got a big play, but can kind of, move around in Chris Olave. And then you got to take the top off in Rashid Shaheed. But almost all of them dudes can still be interchangeable as well.
yeah,
Like, you could put Rashid Shaheed in the slot and, cause hell. Devontae can go in the slot. Chris Olave can go in the slot. So it's like,
mm,
everybody can do a little bit of everything. And it just makes that, to me. And then you still got Alvin Kamara. To me, it just makes that offense a little bit more difficult. And I think that's good. What do you think about the
you know,
Rams?
I hate it.
Why?
The reason why I hate it because Cooper Puka's injury is not his career, and I mean not season ending.
Right.
Cooper Cup injury, not season ending. They're coming back. You know what
But
I'm saying?
when? But when?
Okay, but they're coming back.
But here's my thing. If they're coming back, when will it be too late? Because Cooper Cup has had some injuries, like,
Yeah,
and he's not the youngest anymore
yes,
either. So to me, again, if you want to maximize this window that you got with Matthew Stafford, and quite honestly, maybe Sean McVay.
yeah, but that's it kind of goes against what they've been doing recently. Like them F them picks days is over. Like they still trying to rebuild and come back to relevancy organically. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But it's like, because of Devontae's age and, contract situation, it's not like it's not like you about to have to pull an AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill kind of deal. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I don't think this is necessarily one of them F
I
them
mean, if
pick type moves. This is, to me, this is one of those, let's keep everything, afloat, possibly, because you don't want the Seahawks to run away with this division. You don't want, to kind of like it. You could legit fall into last place and start digging into a hole if Cooper Cup and Puka Nakua don't come back and
Yeah.
get to full capacity very soon, because that whole team is injured.
And we've seen Sean McVay get all three of his wide receivers, the ball. Like he had Brandon Cooks, he had Cooper Cup, he had Robert Woods at the same time.
Yeah.
He had Cooper Cup on the triple crown year, and he ended up going to get Odell. They both ate. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
And there's only a few coaches in the NFL that I think would be able to draw up an offense to make everyone,
yeah,
viable, and he's one of them. That's why I asked that question.
it's just once again, like Marcus said, I don't think they're in the all in year. I think they just
For
stay
sure,
afloat,
for sure, for
stay
sure.
relevant. They got their Super Bowl. Um,
Would you trade Brandon Ayuk for Davante?
the way he's looking, I would to get about that contract
Yeah,
and rebuild and not rebuild, stay afloat.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, with some contract relief coming soon. Um, yeah, but I know they're not really a viable option. Um, I'm gonna tell you what scares me about the Steelers. And what scares me about the Steelers is Davante's attitude. We've heard a lot of Davante, you know, these past 2 seasons. Like we've never heard him before. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
More recently, bro, he conduct himself like he's still a true number one. Now, on certain teams in the league, he can still go and be a number one, right? Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. He still got some left in the tank. You got a dog over there on the other side in George Pickens, who is certified number one in Pittsburgh. Bro, you don't need another personality to come in there and act like that's little bro. You know what I'm saying? You would need somebody with a personality to enhance what George Pickens is doing. You feel what I'm saying? So for example, somebody else that's on the trade block, Amari
Mike
Cooper. If
Cooper.
Amari Cooper I know this will never happen, but if Amari Cooper went to the Steelers, he wouldn't stop nothing George Pickens doing. You know what I'm saying? George Pickens would still be I'm ascending as that top dog. You feel what I'm saying? As far as Davante Adams come in the building, they go put a microphone in his face and he's like, yeah, bro, I'm still number one. I'm number one. You know what I'm saying? And Pickens over here got to hit that. You know what I'm saying? It can
But
cause
so
some rifts,
I
unnecessary rifts.
I'm also not necessarily putting like some of the stuff that we've kind of heard and how we've like portrayed, like how we've seen Devontae Adams.
I didn't make him hold
And
on before
and
you go. I didn't make it seem like he was a diva. I didn't make it seem like he was a malcontent in the locker room. I'm
okay,
just
so
saying, in
okay.
his mind, he feel that he's a number one, and what comes with being a certified number one, you know what comes with it? Come with targets and stuff like that. So, for example, I'll take the Steelers out the equation. I think he would ruin the Jets, and if as far as what he can do, and I ain't even talking football. The aesthetic of, oh, I'm still number one. I'm coming in. This is my dog. Aaron know how I play. He know how I get down. And you having a little issues with what he asking for. Oh, I know how to run that. Oh, I know how to do that. Oh, I know how to get open right here. I ain't got it. We creativity. We don't need none of that. I need a head. This is what Aaron want me to do. It's seamless. You know what I'm saying? So next thing you know, you go out there and you have a 10 target game, and I got 4. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going against the lesser corner because that's your dog. And this New York, I'm already complaining about the offense. Just off the simple fact that and Davante ain't got to do nothing wrong. It's just his presence.
For sure. And the only thing that I'll say in kind of like in response to that is I understand what you mean when it's like, oh, I come in and you have a 10 target game and I only get 4. But it's like it's not necessarily a given that he's gonna come in and then all of a sudden he's gonna see a dramatic dip, because it's like,
Dramatic dip
dog,
from what?
from his target share. I don't think I don't think Garrett Wilson's necessarily going to get a dramatic dip in his target share. Like of course, there's going to be a dip, but like, so I just had to pull it up right now. So right now, Garrett Wilson, as you would expect, is their target leader with 34.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is Brees Hall with 24. After that, it's Alan Lazard with 24.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
That's
he's
because
had,
Mike Williams ain't played all the games either though. But go ahead, continue.
yeah, Mike Williams ain't played all the games, but when has he
I
ever?
know. I'm just saying. I'm for that. I'm not talking about injury. I'm just you know.
Right, but then it's like so that's all I'm saying. It's like he could take damn near all them Alan Lazard targets because so he's had an 8 target game and a not he had an 8 target game when they was in Denver, and we know how that game looked.
Mm-hmm. But
He had a 9 target game in San Francisco. So it's
and what was
like,
you said those targets that you just said for Alan Lazard? What was the targets for Garrett Wilson?
oh, that's not a problem. So that
I
ain't
ain't
no
say it was a
problem.
problem.
No, so in Denver, Garrett Wilson had 8, so similar. And then
Mm-hmm.
in San Francisco, he had 11.
You don't see the issue
I don't
because the only reason Alan Lazard got those targets because that's Ernst Mann. He ain't
right.
good.
I know he's not good, but my thing is when you Alan Alan Lazard, he won't be on the field if you get Davante.
That
Mans are not.
bro, him having 8 targets and Garrett Wilson having 8 targets is malpractice already. So
If
if
no,
you
well,
being
I can't.
naive, you're
No, I'm
you're
not
being naive if
I'm
you
not
think
being
Devontae
naive
won't get
because
more.
again, go ahead.
I'm done. I'm saying you'll be naive to think that in that same game, if you swap out Alan Lazard for Davante Adams, you don't think this you think they still gonna be 8-8 when Alan Lazard should have never got 8? All right.
It all I'm saying is just like if you got Patrick Surtain on you
Mm-hmm.
and it's already you got clamps on you. I'm sorry. Patrick Surtain is going to be guarding Devontae.
Okay, use
So
another game.
your 8 are going to look a lot better when you go to San Francisco. Those 11, even if those 11 go to you, you caught 6 of them for 60. If 11 go to Devontae and then you get 8, you still got a chance to get you can go 6 for 5 and still have better than 6 for 60 because you have better opportunity.
Do the Patriots game. You keep skipping that game.
The Patriots game, he had 9. He had
And
9 targets.
and who else had? And everybody had targets the rest of that.
And then Alan Lazard, the Patriots game, Alan Lazard had 3 targets.
But that was all he had. How many touchdowns did he have that game? Right? Didn't he have 2?
No, he had 2 in the 49ers game. The Patriots game, he had 3 targets. He caught 3 of them.
I'm talking about touchdowns.
No, he had 1 touchdown in the
One
Patriots
touchdown
game,
against the Patriots game.
and then Garrett Wilson got 9 targets for 5 catches, 33 yards, and a touchdown.
But that was the game. I'm using that game in particular because that was the game that he was throwing the ball to everybody else. Remember how they hyped it up, And
But he had 9 targets with Christian,
yeah,
like
53 yards and 53 yards.
33.
33. I gave him extra 20.
So that's all I'm saying. But we've also differed on this, having 2 number 1 things for a while too. Because I think it's going to make people's job easier. Sometimes you think it's going to cause an issue because of target share when these teams throw the ball off like so often. And guess what? It ain't like they're good at running the ball right now. So you need all the help that you can to try and spread things out.
But I'm only going off personalities too. Like I said,
I don't think the personality is going to be a problem. Because my thing is,
I would wholeheartedly think let's use Dallas. If he came to Dallas, I would think it would be a problem, bro. I mean, we can disagree. We can disagree for sure, but I think it's going to be a problem if CD not getting all his targets.
I don't like so here's my thing. I don't think it's going to be a problem unless CD starts complaining that he's not getting his targets. Because again, like I said before, I don't think Davante is going to come in and be like, "Oh, nah, I need the ball. I need this. I need that." Because we've seen because like I said, we've seen Davante. When Davante got frustrated and was really start talking, it was because they was out there getting him killed, and he went into a situation where, hey, I would like to go, like, I want to go to Oakland, I want to be closer to home, I want to go play with my dog. Y'all trade him, and then now I'm out here getting killed, and so yes, you see me out here saying I got to get out of here before I get killed. So I think it's different. So
yeah,
like,
I didn't say he was, but I didn't say he was the negative one. I didn't say he was going to be the one. You know,
let me make one more final point real quick, because we do have to move on. One final point here also is a lot of receivers around the league give Davante Adams still a whole bunch of credit as being one of the top dogs in the NFL. So I do believe he walk in a locker room, I don't think it's going to be like, nah, I'm supposed to be the top dog. Like, I think it's like, oh, we lit type thing, because I do think some of these receivers have an understanding that it can make your job easier.